Arsenal could have also done the same thing.
Of course. Congrats.
Kudos to Manchester United. DJ, well done for the performance. That was a classical save.
Yeah.
Nice game. Fred, man of the match. Kudos.
So that was a perfect game for Manchester United. For this season, I've not seen them put out this kind of performance, and they are able to win against Arsenal at Old Trafford. This is their most performance since the beginning of the league against Leeds United, when they trashed Leeds United 5-0. This is the second performance I can see in Old Trafford. So what's your take about this match?
Oh, obviously this match is an interesting match because both teams perform very, very well, tremendously well. And I expected goals to be in this game, but not as much as 5 goals in this game. But kudos to the boys for winning the game at Old Trafford. I'm really impressed. We needed it and we've gotten it. Yay! Vamos! Well,
so generally, what did you see the performance of Maguire today? Because today we didn't see him doing his usual mistakes. But a defense to receive 2 goals at home is not a good sign. For sure.
It's not a good sign, but the fault wasn't from. You see, those goals were they were being from the opponent. They were goals from the opponent. So that's okay. At least we've gotten our win.
They've gotten their win. Kudos to Arsenal. It was a respectable loss for them because they did so well in this match. To be frank, Arsenal's setup was the best. They did very well playing away in Old Trafford, and they are able to score 2 goals, and losing it 3 goals to 2 is something that we can be able to appreciate, even though Arsenal would have been happy to get a point at Old Trafford. But it is what it is. We can't change it. Now Manchester United is climbing the table, but Arsenal still maintain their 5th position. But if Tottenham are able to win because Tottenham is still with 13 games, and they will be playing their 14th game. If they win that game, it means they will go to 5th, and Arsenal will drop in the league table. So that's what Arsenal would not like to see. It was a wonderful performance. Now today, a brace for Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yeah.
What do you think of his performance today?
I'm really, really happy for him today. I could have been very, very happy or glad. Supposing he had a hat-trick today, it could have been something different. But all the same, so it wasn't bad. To getting the brace and also 800 career goal is something marvelous.
So Yannick coming to, we saw him in the pitch. Maybe the next game he will take over. So Jenna, what do you expect from him? What do you think he will change for Manchester United? What exactly do you expect from him?
First of all, United doesn't hold ball for long, so he should make sure they hold ball as what Bayern and other teams have been doing. Like for instance, Man City and Liverpool, they will press the ball, they will hold the ball, they will push the ball to their opponent. So I'm also expecting him to bring in such to Manchester United for us to be able to hold the ball, press our opponent, and get our wins.
And get your wins. So he needs to hold the ball, press, and get wins for Manchester United.
And also something you should do something about our defense, because our defense is not good. So you should work on that. But for now, we are not going to buy any other player. We are not going to buy new players. So you should work on those we have.
But the one thing for sure for me, I've been seeing with coaches building clubs, sometimes you might think something is wrong with your team, or maybe the players are not performing, and it's all about the coaching. is all about the setup of the coaching. Because looking at Chelsea, when Chelsea was having a defensive problem under Lampard, and Tuchel came in, he didn't change any player, he didn't buy any player, and the defense was generally transformed, and they lead to which lead them to lifting Champions League trophy. So probably maybe first of all, as an experienced coach, the way Yannick is, I think that's the first thing he will look in, because for a team to be built, you need to start it from defense. So if the defense are set up, I think Manchester United are good to go, because they are giving away a lot of chances for their opponents. I usually call them like the gift of a defense, because they just give to their opponents and they keep on scoring. And the goalkeeper, there are some chances the goalkeeper have little to do. He can only do enough, even though De Gea has been saving them for subsequent match, but it cannot continue like that. So we look at the midfield today. Carrick just starts his usual. He start what Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has been starting with, like just Fred and McTominay, and that's today. They both of them performed very well, but during the first half, I think there wasn't flexibility in the first half. So in moving forward, do you think because remember Pogba is still there, because some coaches look at Pogba as defensive midfielder, but for me I think Pogba is more or less offensive than defensive. So if Yannick is also deciding to use Pogba as a defensive midfielder, now a lot of midfielders United are having, and yet they have problem in the midfield. What do you think Yannick will change in the midfield? Because we have Matic, Fred, McTominay, Pogba, and Bruno is, they just take Bruno as an offensive midfielder, because I've never seen only using him as defensive, except maybe when there's an injury that they don't have options. When you look at the previous games of Fernandes has not been even dropping too much deep into the midfield. He always joined the attack, playing number 10 role, maybe wide the wing, and maybe switching with a striker. So in the midfield, with this kind of names we've mentioned, what do you think will change under Yannick?
Okay, so for now, since Pogba is injured, we can't talk much about.
Before he answered the question, I think about the question, let me just introduce to our viewers. This is Achilles Sports, your number one sporting entertainment show. So on YouTube, if you are new to the channel, subscribe, type in your notification bell. Remember, this will be coming to you time to time. It will be coming to live with live matches. So back to the question.
So as I was saying, now Pogba is injured, that we all know. So when he's back from injury, he will try like those persons. See, like as today, Carrick paired McTominay with Fred. He was there, so he saw what happened. So he also try pair like those midfielders and see what's the best formation that he can play, and the one which is suitable for the team. So I think he will try his pair and see which one will work for the club.
No, but when you look at, he has been sitting far away, like today matches, maybe since they approach him to become a United coach, maybe he has been sitting far away looking at the team. Okay, what should I do to correct this? What should I do to correct this? But for me, if Yannick will succeed, I think he needs to be playing Pogba as an offensive midfielder. Maybe playing him wide, because when Pogba is playing offensive, my God, his distribution, the chances he creates, and the kind of confidence he has during offensive is amazing. And Pogba is not a young player, and he's not a small player to his aim. Remember, during his tenure, he was a marquee signing for Manchester United. Juventus. And this, since arriving to Manchester United, a lot of people really don't take him serious because they haven't seen the beast in him. And some are actually saying, oh, you remember he was playing with Pelo and Pelo was covering him and what and what. But believe me, Pogba is an amazing player.
Of course.
And the contract issue is also bothering him because Pogba, he needs to be certain because this is his peak of his age. So he needs to also wait and weigh his options. Because if he make a signing right now, that's going to be he will keep it till the end of his career. Because when they get to the age of 30s, it's always an issue for them. So for me, maybe Yannick should pick Pogba and Fernandes. With Fernandes as a pair, because if Fernandes is not in the game, Pogba will actually come in to take over. But for the defensive midfield, we know typically they have Matic and Fred and McTominay. For those they are typical defensive midfielders, and Matic has been amazing since from Chelsea to Manchester United. And maybe he's also getting older, that's why they are not trusting him with the defensive midfield. But when he was introduced against Chelsea in the break, you see what he brought to the game. Even though McTominay as a midfielder took man of the match in that game. But nothing for Pogba, I think offensively is good for him.